So my son had been telling me about some all-natural type of things to try to get healthy. Kombucha, water kefir, and milk kefir. And I had ordered him those 3 items on from a place on Etsy. And he's been working really hard to come up with recipes that aren't disgusting tasting, to be honest. And I ordered myself a package of milk kefir because I wanted to try that for myself. So it came in the mail. It came in a plastic bag with what they call kefir grains. They're not really grains, but that's just the lingo everybody uses. And it comes with a little bit of milk because it needs the milk to keep it alive. And you basically take the grains and you put them in more milk, cover the milk, let it sit, and it ferments the milk. And it becomes just an amazing pile of probiotics and other beneficial, all-natural, very healthy components that your body needs. So I'm going to try it. It had instructions. It said what to do with it. And like I said, basically you put those grains into a jar, which I did. Took them out of the bag. And it's like those little, they call it cauliflower, but it looks more like cottage cheese to me. And then you fill it up with milk and put a top on it and let the top be on loosely, I guess. Let it sit for like at least 24 hours. And it kind of turns it thick. And it has a bitter taste, a little bit of a bitter taste when you first, it reminds me of yogurt, liquid yogurt. And I started making mine and putting it into a container with fruit. And I actually put like this Nestle Strawberry Quick that to give it a little bit of sweetness because it has no sweetness whatsoever. In fact, it's kind of sour. But I love it. I've been doing it now for about 3 weeks. So here's when it sits for 24 hours, you dump it into a strainer because you want to recover the grains and start again. And so what you do is you slosh around the strainer with a spatula, and it pushes all the kefir, however you want to say it, through the strainer into the bowl, and then it recovers the grains. You put those back into the jar, fill the jar with milk, and start again. And this is like a process that you do like every day, every other day. Depends on how much you want to make. And the grains actually will start to multiply, which mine have done, and I now have 3 little containers in the freezer full of grains that because it's multiplied so much. But it's very good for you. If you Google milk kefir, you'll be amazed at what it says this stuff is good for. I actually feel a lot better since I've been drinking it, and I like it. So now it's part of my daily routine. And it doesn't take me very long to do this at all. Just kind of, like I said, you put the milk in there, leave it for a day or 2. It gets thick. It gets like it's curdling, and then you separate. There's the grains. Separate them with a strainer. Just throw them right back into a jar, fill the jar up with milk, and go again. But that's what they look like up close. You can see it kind of looks like cottage cheese. But that's the grains, as they call it. The organisms that ferment the milk. So that's what I've been doing for 3 weeks now, on top of, housework, yard work, etc., working. And there's the grains in the jar. Throw them in there and throw some milk on them. That big jar right there is where after I've strained it, I put it in there, and that's where I added the fruit and the flavoring. There's another close-up of what the grains look like. Like I said, it looks like cottage cheese. Very healthy for you. Google it. A lot of people are big on this. I'm sold already. I've been feeling so much better since I've been drinking this stuff. Like I said, it tastes like liquid yogurt. You should try it. There's a jar with my fruit flavored and then one that's not flavored yet.